You won't believe it. Only Dean knows what this witchcraft is all about. Roland was not joking. She told Dean if the secret box wasn't brought out, she'd quit and run home to chase some bread happiness. Hearing this, Dean had to give in. Turns out, the former owners of this mansion were a pair of banker couples living the luxurious life with a witchy black couple as their help. This black couple were renowned witchcraft experts. One day, at the banker's party, their kids vanished. They searched high and low, only to find the kids trapped in the attic amongst candles, while the black couple was giving them a little witchcraft class. The kids were desperately explaining they wanted to learn, but the bankers weren't buying it, leading to them hanging the black couple and setting them ablaze. Talk about burning passion. After that, the banker used money to smooth everything over. Surprisingly, no one got punished. But one day, the banker went bonkers, shot his wife, and then offed himself. Talk about everyone thought the black couple was back for revenge. That's why Dean wouldn't dare look in mirrors at home, scared she might see those ghosts. Red dirt outside was supposedly to keep the ghosts at bay, but Roland was kinda skeptical. While bathing Little Handsome, she suddenly had a burst of inspiration. An idea popped into her mind to utilize her makeup mirror for an experiment, attempting to uncover the veil shrouding these mysteries. The wizard told her, as long as she shaped that red dirt was wanting to hurt her, wouldn't even enter her doorstep. Sounds pretty high-tech. Roland revealed Little Handsome's plight. Guided by the wizard, she bought loads of witchcraft gear. That night, Roland conducted her witchcraft ceremony, throwing in crosses, potions, and essential oils like she was in some weird spa, mumbling spells in confusion. Little Handsome suddenly piped up, calling out Roland's name for help, giving her a major jump scare. The huge rocker startled Dean, while Roland kept interrogating about the attic secrets, but Little Handsome just pointed at her behind in total terror. Faced with Dean's questioning, Roland feared that she was telling ghost stories to Little Handsome, and Dean's reaction made her feel that Little Handsome had little to do with her true mate, more like a captive actor. That night, Roland had a bizarre dream where the black couple cut her hair, and her eyes and mouth got stitched up. A string of strange occurrences drove Roland to the edge. She resolved to quit immediately, but looking at the lonely Little Handsome outside, she couldn't help but think of her long-lost father. In the end, Roland chose not to abandon her friends. She sought out her lawyer and spelled everything to him. They decided to find the previous caregiver for clues, but the caregiver said she didn't believe in witchcraft. The caregiver thought it was all Dean's doing and advised Roland to skedaddle. On the way home, passing by that restaurant, Roland heard a familiar chant. It was from that black couple's record. She rushed over, but only found a mumbling old lady. Cautiously, Roland asked about the chant, but the old lady froze. Realizing it was lost to time, she could snatch others' lives through sacrificial means. In other words, her life was too lavish. Roland realized Dean might want to snatch Little Handsome's brief life. She decided to go all in with her lawyer. The lawyer would handle the search warrant, while Roland went to rescue Little Handsome. Back at the mansion, she sprinkled red dirt at her bedroom door, then lied about a leaky roof to get Dean to come check it out. If you look closely, of course. Actually, I'm exceptionally interested in the pain experienced by this wall. At the dinner table, Roland seized the chance and drugged Dean, but when Dean fell, she started casting a spell instead. Roland snatched it up and found out it was a protective spell, definitely gonna come in handy later. She raced upstairs and stumbled upon other clues, a mysterious spell under the bed, her own hair, and that help me bedsheet of Little Handsome. Looks like everything was tied to Dean. Time was of the essence. Roland prepped to flee with Little Handsome, but discovered the iron door was locked tight. She tried ramming the door with her cupboard, ended up with a scratched up ride, and the door still intact. Talk about asking for trouble. Roland had no choice but to hide Little Handsome in the back garden and sprint out for help. Meanwhile, Dean was up and armed with a shotgun, ready to roll. Roland bolted to her lawyer's place, ready to present the evidence. Suddenly, Dean called the lawyer to record for proof, and Roland stumbled upon a horrifying secret. Roland finally realized the lawyer and Dean were in cahoots, and she had just blown her cover. The lawyer choked Dean, leading her to escape, but Roland woke up back in Dean's house. Roland felt twitchy, her body electrified with sharp pains. Feeling a chill, she realized that she had been picked by Dean to serve as her little tool. Only then did Roland realize that the lawyer and Dean were truly partners in crime. Realizing that she was in a pickle, she looked around helplessly. At that moment, she understood she was the one caught in the trap, while the real lawyer had already been possessed by Little Handsome. In other words, the one living in Little Handsome's body was the true lawyer. Talk about a twist. Dean demanded to know about the whereabouts of Roland's mate, sending a chill down her spine. Suddenly, she spotted the red dirt at the door and her heart sank. Could this be Dean's doing? To shake off the lawyer, Roland lied about needing her father's picture and shoved him inside just before reaching the room. Using the red dirt to block the lawyer outside, she seized the chance to escape. She dashed into the bedroom and leaped out the window, deftly slicing the ropes with sharp glass only to turn around and run smack into Dean. Roland had prepped the red dirt earlier, scattering it in the ground to seal off the lawyer's escape route. The two engaged in an intense showdown. Roland, being younger and stronger, used a touchy push to toss the lawyer over the edge. What a satisfying move. But before she could call the cops, she noticed her dad was missing in action. Roland could only flee to the opera house, only to find the trap cleverly laid out for her by the witch. Talk about tragic. At that moment, she recalled the protective spell, decided to trust magic, and cast the shield. If you find this story intriguing, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic content. Don't miss out on exciting updates. The fascinating content is not to be overlooked. Let's delve into more mysterious tales together.